Okay, welcome guys, welcome. I'm going to be asking the question, is Nine Kings as good as everyone else says it is? And to be honest, at first glance, I'd say no. It's a very enjoyable game. So it's a good game, but is it one of the great games of the year? And it probably certainly will be up there in terms of, a game. Is it a game contender of the year? That's I guess, is the big question. And I don't think it is. But I haven't played much of it. I've played it for an hour or two, maybe two and a bit, I think, or 1 and a bit hours. So I haven't really played a hell of a lot of it. But and it's sort of funny. Like everywhere I look online, it's just this is the most awesome game of the year type thing, which is sort of coming through. And look, there's certainly a lot to like about the game. But I look at other games like the auto battler type games that, for me, do a better job of the auto battler sort of genre, like Mechabellum, for example. And so when I start to play this, I'm thinking it doesn't have the same degree of complexity as Mechabellum. Not that complexity is a good thing, and there is certainly a lot you can do with this game. But anyway, I think we'll play it for an hour or two and just sort of see how we go with it. And I'll just try to explain how it actually does work. If you don't know about the game, then get out from under that rock, because everyone's talking about it. No, if you don't know about the game, I'll just explain how it sort of works. So the initial 10 minutes or so will just be sort of like about the game mechanics itself. And so let's just go and start a run, and we'll do a new run. So I've been sort of I've won some and lost something. I've lost some runs and lost some runs. Won some runs and lost some runs. But I'm not very far into the game. So why is it called Nine Kings? Is because essentially you've got 9 different armies that you play with. And so we've got the King of Nothing back and through here as I sort of go through. I've only unlocked the first 2, so I'm not really very far into it. This is the King of Spells. And so these have got different card decks. And it's not really a card battler as such. It all comes down to the placement of your when you build your kingdom. It's a kingdom. It's a role play. It's not even a role play. It's a roguelike kingdom builder using card mechanics to construct what you do. The auto battle system is very, very rudimentary. So this is why I'm sort of thinking, why are people really engaged with this particular game? And for me, I don't see the degree of hype. For me is more elevated than it really should be for this game. But anyway, that's just me looking at it from limited time that I've actually spent with the game. So you've got the King of Nothing, which essentially is like a bit of a generalist. Like you've got sort of like a fairly sort of standard. I think we'll even play that way, just so you can sort of see how it looks like from a... I've only got 2 I can choose from. But the King of Nothing essentially ends up with some fairly strongish type troops, but they're just more like... They feel like just human troops in the sense of a standard sort of gameplay. The King of Spells is... a lot more nuanced. The King of Spells is interesting. Like, this is where you end up with sort of like warlocks and wizards and things like this, where you've got sort of like fairly meaty units, but not a lot of them. So the number of units is fairly low. You've then got, you can see I love this, by the way. This is your unlock ability. So for this is the King of Greed, I think it is. And so the King of Greed, actually, I haven't unlocked this one. I'm still a long way off getting this particular one. And I think it comes down to how you defeat their different units as you fight them. So you can see I'm fairly low in terms of being able to unlock the King of Greed. The next one across is the King of Blood. And so the King of Greed is about money. There's mainly about sort of money. The King of Blood is mainly about demons and summoning in different types of units and things like that. The King of Nature is about sort of poison, elves, things like that. I guess the King of Stone is about buildings and sort of strength in terms of like it's for me it has like a bit of a dwarf feel to it, to be honest, the way it sort of then works. And then the King of Progress back and through here is another one that is sort of like it's a bit, I don't know, I don't really know even how to describe that particular one. So let's just go back to the first of them. Let's go and play. So there's a couple there that aren't actually in the game yet. The game is in early access. Very, very playable for an early access game, by the way. So we'll just go to King of Nothing. So Lord Polish is saying, where's your Crown King Nothing? Metallica song? I don't know that song. Anyway, let's go back in. So the way it works is, and or maybe I'll just even go back out so you can sort of see what the way it sort of does work. So this is the King of Nothing. We then actually have these various cards that are part of the deck, and so we get these randomly at different times in the game. So as we do a run, we end up with these different cards that are coming through, and so these will have like a percentage chance of these appearing with different types of with different types of runs and so on and so forth. So depending on the difficulty that we choose, we'll then have different variants or different ratios of the cards sort of coming back through. And the cards operate between units. Like, for example, you can see there we've got a soldier unit back and through there, a paladin unit, which is like a defensive melee troop, and then we have an archer unit. So there are three different types of actual units we have playing as the King of Nothing. We then actually have different buildings. The castle, you'll always start off with a castle, but you can upgrade it. So this is actually sort of like a building that hurls a stone. Then we've got the things, for example, like we've got offensive buildings, in this case a scout tower, so shoots powerful single target arrows. Then we've got buffs, so we've got things, for example, like a farm, so every year adds +1 unit to one adjacent troop. And this is actually the key to playing the game. We've got things, for example, like the blacksmith as well, so every year add +2% attack damage. The turns are years, by the way, just so you sort of get an understanding as to why it's saying a year and not just turn, but you can intersperse turn and year. And so in this case, we've got blacksmith, so adds 2% attack damage to adjacent troops and constructions. So that's actually interesting because this one actually adds it to constructions, like it will add it to the scout tower, but the farm does not. The farm only adds it to one of the 3 different types of units that we have up through here. The steel coat, these are sort of like buffs that you then get. So you've got steel coat, cancels the first hit the target unit would make every battle, and then you've got the wild card. So this levels up different plots in your kingdom, which means that a farm would go from level 1 to level 2, and you've got about 3 different levels typically on anything that's actually anything you place, including your units. So that's sort of the way that the cards then go and work. If we go back across and just have a quick look at it as a point of comparison, what happens with the King of Spells is that our building is the Citadel. So this strikes your opponents with chain lightning bolts. Then we've got the different units. So we've got, for example, just wizards and warlocks. So they're the 2 different types of units. We've then got things like this is a static, so units attacks trigger a lightning chain, deals +1 damage and +1 chain per stack. So these then are the buffs that we then apply to the, and you can see it with the little icon that appears up in the top corner. An offering, so destroy target plot to receive 3 random tome cards. Most of the other modes of play have a card like this where you can actually go and destroy and rearrange what's going to happen with your layout. And so there's certainly different approaches with the way that you do go and play. We've got combustion back and through here. Again, you can see up in the top left corner there of the card that it's a buff. So this one causes area damage equal to 20% of its attack when it kills an enemy. The Shaman is actually a unit card, and so this one here buffs allies tax damage based on its own damage. So that sort of is just a bit of a buff. You've then got a library, so every year has a 50% chance of duplicating an enchantment of one adjacent troop. Now it's not a permanent buff, it just happens to be there. I think this is a fairly weak building, just from the limited amount that I have played with this one. And then the Spire, so heals your units that are closest to death during battle. This is something I think it's also the key to playing as the King of Spells. And of course we then actually have, as we go back, the other ones, I can't really sort of show these, but these have got their own sets of cards. So all of them have got their own sets of cards. Let's just go back to the King of Nothing. And we'll just play this one through here. So you can sort of see through here, you've got different difficulties going from Peasant, which I've got a tick next to that one. The next one I've got is Squire. I can play Knight level as well, but let's just go and start off with Squire. And so it goes up through various difficulties. And the idea, I think that one of the charms of the game is to move your way up through and just level up. So it becomes, this is why I'm thinking that the game does a lot of things very, very well. And one of those is the engagement of playing the game and trying to level up. And it's one of those ones where quite often with a game you'll hit your level that you're comfortable with and stay there, whereas this game seems to sort of drag you into wanting to go higher up. With what you're actually doing and get more of those little ticks. And again, I can't really put my finger on why the game is just so well done in that sense, but it is. So again, we come back to the question: is it really as good as what people say? And I still say it isn't. But it is good. It's just not great. I don't think, like not to the degree that you see other people sort of gushing over the actual game itself. Hi Bioff and Hi-Fi Panda saying, I heard about this one. I was wondering how much of meta progress it has and different options available to the player. Well, when we play it, I'll explain how we can approach the game as we go into it. And so the game is multi-dimensional in terms of the way that you can actually play the game. There certainly are different approaches depending on which king you're actually playing as. So we call saying it lost me a deck builder. Don't worry about that aspect. It's actually the deck builder I was very much the same, to be honest. I was thinking, not really interested in a deck builder, but it's not your typical deck builder, and it does work well. So let's just go and play it. We'll play it on Squire difficulty level, which I should be able to play and win this one without too much trouble. So we'll just go and cross and play. So the year is 653. Not that really matters that much. So these are your enemies. Actually, I didn't get to see who they actually were, but that's randomly chosen for you. And so what will then happen is you'll end up with we've got about 30 odd years of different things that can come up. So year 1 is to protect your kingdom. Year 2 is a battle to protect your kingdom. Battle to protect your kingdom. Then we're going to have a royal council, so to create a new policy. Policy is again quite an interesting little mechanic where you can actually then sort of have like a different. We'll get to when we get to it anyway. But it's essentially a bit of a multiplier to actually then try to enhance the direction that you're heading with the actual game itself. Then you've got another battle, then you've got a prophet, so predict a special event in your future. Battle, diplomat, choose between peace or war, and then protect your kingdom, and it goes on and on and on in through there. Now, I've got my my combat set to auto, just simply because if I don't, all I'm going to be doing is just moving around with my mouse. It's very, very basic to do it. I'll leave it off just so you can sort of see the way it does work, and I only want to be playing at low speed. I've sort of been the reason I've got it on fast speed is that I was trying to finish off a run, and my wife came home and needed me to go out and take the groceries upstairs, and so I had to put it into fast mode, and it's not fast enough even in fast mode to to finish off things. Anyway, that's where it is. So the first turn you have in year 1 is to then place your castle. And so thinking about those cards that we saw, we've actually got then other aspects of typically in the game you might think, I'll throw the castle in the middle area through here. But if you go and do that, it then means that you don't have any multipliers really that can then sort of work. Now we saw there that we had a farm which adds 1 to a unit. That's going to be useless if we play a farm next to the castle. And the way that those buffs like the farm or the blacksmith work is that they buff up the orthogonal connection, not the diagonal. So if I have a castle here and a blacksmith over here, for example, it won't give me the 2% bonus. It will only give it to me if it's in this sort of direction. So what I'd prefer to do here is actually start to try to think about in terms of if I end up with different buffs around the place, I want to have like a multiplier effect in the middle of the various areas of troops, and so try to sort of keep like a checkerboard pattern of troops and offensive buildings, etc., etc. Now the castle is an offensive building. It hurls a stone projectile into your enemies. So I'm just going to go and drag that. I'll drag that into one of the bottom corners at this stage. Again, people will have different ideas about how to do this one. So we just go and do that one through there. Now, the way it then works with this is that we end up with we then get 3 random cards from our deck back in through here, and we have to figure out which one are we going to then go and play. And I'll just have a quick drink of water. So I could, I could build a scout tower in one of these different areas. None of these are multipliers. I do have a paladin, highly defensive melee troop. So all it's really going to do is block. So I don't really rate these all that well in the amount that I've sort of played it. I prefer the more offensive type troops. And but I've got another castle now. My castle, if I go and have a look at if I hover over the castle, you can see hurls a stone projectile onto your enemies. It does 10 damage, and the hits per second is 0.29 hits per second. The critical hit chance is 0, and you can see it's level 1 of 3. If I then go and place the castle, what that thing going to do is it's going to leave me with two different cards in my deck. And when you've only got 2 cards in your deck, what then happens is that the game will then trigger the actual battle itself. So that's actually what the trigger is for the battle. So we've got 0 gold. Now, one thing I could do a few different things. I could upgrade my castle, which is what I'm going to be doing. I could place the paladin or place the scout tower somewhere on the actual board itself. But if I go and do that, then what's going to then ultimately end up happening is that that will then trigger the battle as well. Or I can actually go and drag it into here and get like 9 coins if I wanted to try to sort of get more coin. But I'm going to go to the castle and just going to go and place the castle over the top of the existing castle. I can't place it anywhere else. It can only go there. That then sets the this particular combat. This is the King of Progress coming in. And so now I just need to hold down and just do the damage. So as I hold down the mouse button, I'm then attacking the different units. If they get to where my actual castle is, and you can see it, I'll just show you in through here. We've got 2 units left of 6. We've got no units left. We've got 65 damage that we've done. It's quite funny, actually, just the way it works. So these are just getting a little bit close. So I did leave that a little bit close to my actual castle. And so battle 1, pick your loot. And so in this case, we've got again another selection from our own deck. And so you get a bit of a random selection, but you also then get other selections from the deck of whoever actually attacked you. And so in this case, I've got a lab rat, so disposable melee troop, levels up whenever adjacent plots level up with no maximum level. So this one allows me then to sort of start to build rats, and these are very, very low level melee units. We've got overhaul in through here as well, so destroy target plot to level up 2 random plots. Each use 1 more plot is leveled up. So if I had lots and lots of these, I could actually then go and destroy elements on a plot, and it would then sort of start to level up, for example, the castle. Or I can go and grab the castle itself. Let's go and use the lab rat, which is, as I said before, a low-level unit. So let's just go and grab that one in through there. And what I'd be wanting to do, the disposable melee troop levels up whenever adjacent plot levels up. So if I'll go and show you now how to sort of make use of that. By the way, I've got 9 gold now, but to re-roll it would cost me 10. Let's go and grab that one. So we're now back with our group. I want to then play the lab rat. So this is going to then give me a group of units that I can then sort of go and make use of. Now, if I put the auto on, it just means that I don't have to then, it'll just target whatever's closest, essentially. So I probably will leave that one on because I do like to target the ranged units once I've actually got melee units. So I'm going to, with the lab rat, I've then got to think, okay, well, where would I want to place this to get the most benefit? It's got to be when an adjacent plot levels up. That's going to be where it's going to be important. So if I got a farm in there, I could then actually have the cardinal points back in around here with different types of units, which would be all I need for the whole game. And then I could just use the other sort of multipliers in around that as well. So I'm thinking, because this one levels up whenever adjacent plots level up, God, it sort of was one of these things. I could even put it in the middle there and then sort of put the multipliers. No, I think I'll keep it off to the side. It still gives us 1 more level up with the castle. So let's just go and place I could even place it over there and then start to sort of move other things in around that one and build up around it. So again, I've got a few different choices with the way that I then approach the placement. And this is really the strategy of the game, is what cards will you choose from the selection, and where will you place them in this little grid. The grid, by the way, you can sort of grow the grid, which will happen over time. You'll sort of see that as I go through every turn, I've now got 2 rats. I've got this on auto. No, I don't have this on auto. Do they move fast? So those rats, only having 2 rats at the start is very, very weak. Here we are. We got there in the end. So this was the king of greed. So we now end up with different sorts of things. This is a so we've got a mortgage. So destroy target plot and receive 30 gold for each level it had. So at the moment, if I got rid of the rats, I'd get 30 gold. And so with that one through there, I can't get rid of the castle. Dispenser, so single shot tower, gains plus 1% attack speed for each 1 gold you receive. So the king of greed is all about acquiring money and then getting power through the money. So, hi Cecil, how are you going? And Leia is saying, what is this? This is 9 kings. And really the question is it as good as what if you look at anyone else that's covered it, they think it's like the reporting is that it's sort of like game of the year contention type game, which I don't think it's that high up, but it's a good game, not a great game in my opinion. Very enjoyable. It's certainly a beer and pretzels type game that you can play fairly quickly. So I don't know if I'm actually going to. I don't think I'll worry with that one. I might just go and get the castle. And again, as soon as I drop a, and this is actually showing me the damage that was done. I'm going to put the auto on this time, so that way the castle will just fire. I don't have to then worry about it. Now with these, I do want to start to have areas in here that will level up next to the. So let's go and grab ourselves a scout tower as well. So this will actually then just shoot single targets. Just go that way down into this corner. So the auto will now sort of just shoot automatically. You can see there we're firing at different units. Now this is actually a nothing rebellion, which means that we're going to get more cards just from our own deck. And this is good. I've got the archer back and through there. Now the castle, I won't be needing any more castles. There's another upgrade to the scout tower. This is going to make my rats level up more. So the archer is one I would like to get. I might go that way now. And this is now the royal decree, where we end up needing to choose one of these, which are randomly, again, sort of chosen for us. We can re-roll these as well. So we've got outsourcing, receive 9 free re-rolls. Overwork, so you're building supply their effect one more time. So, and then poison thorns. Every time enemies attack your units, those enemies gain 1 poison stack. That would be good because we've got the rats. And the rats are going to grow over time very, very, like they're going to become a massive little army. Only got 2 at this stage, but they'll start to grow. So I'm going to go and choose poison thorns. Just think, you got to think a little bit about, what your play will be like towards the end of the run, which is where it starts to get difficult. So you can see there the rats now did 12 damage, and I now actually have all 3. Now the castle, I've still got 1 more castle card. You can see there that the actual scout tower did the majority of the damage. I'm going to go and throw the archer unit, deals weak but fast range damage. So let's just go and grab another one of these, the archers. Now I'm looking for a farm to place in here. So I'm going to place my archer unit over here. And so these will then just array themselves. You don't have any control over where they actually do start. These are sort of moving in very, very quickly. And we're sort of over and done with there very, very fast. So we've now got a thief, assassin troop that jumps to the enemy's back line. That's what was attacking us. So they just jump ahead into where we actually are. A beacon every year adds 2% attack speed to adjacent troops and constructions. That's actually pretty good. So 2% attack speed. Yeah, so over time, that's going to boost. So I'm going to grab that one. And I'm going to place the beacon in between these 2. So not in the middle there, because what I really want is the farm. I'm looking for a farm in that position. So you can see there when I hover over that one, it's now going to apply this every year 2% attack to adjacent troops and constructions. Actually, I can do that one there as well. Actually, I'll do it there, which will then give me a boost to both my tower and my castle, which is currently where most of the attack damage is coming from. So let's go and place that one through there. Now this is another Nothing Rebellion as we go through. This is now year 5. Next one we have is the Prophet coming. So we're sort of looking at different knights. We're looking at different archers there as well. Now we have soldiers. This is a well-balanced melee troop. This is the other one that I now want to be getting as well. I want to get a bunch of these in. The scout tower would be good. The steel coat cancels the first hit the target unit would have every battle. I like the soldier. I'll just go and grab that one. So blessing, my lord, the prophet has foreseen a blessing in 9 years' time. So we end up with a different blessing. This is a peacetime, so doubles the HP of the card on the target plot in the year of the prophecy. Now I'm not sure where the target plot actually is. Doubles the hit points of the card on the target plot in the year of the prophecy. So that one there. Now that's not. I'm not going to be able to make use of that. So I'll just ignore that particular one because that's where I want to have my multiplier. So I'm going to put the soldiers back over through here, and again I'm going to be down to 2 cards left, which means it triggers the next combat. So that's the Prophet one in through here. We still have another battle coming in, and so now we have the King of Progress. I think it's the King of Progress. Yeah, King of Progress down through there. Alright, and so we then get to, this is a defender, so tank a unit that doesn't attack but reflects all damage taken. And then we've got the concobulator, so when this building reaches level 3, it levels up all your plots. Now, I'm not going to really be able to make much use of this, so I'm thinking I will still grab it, just in case I can get more of them, because I don't need the castle. Let's just go and grab this one here. I'm going to place the castle this time and just finish off this build of the castle. That's now the top level castle. This is another king of, this is a King of Greed actually, this one here with the assassins. So the strategy is really about how you build this all up and through here. Now there's a dispenser. We've got a vault, receive +3 gold at the end of every year. The beacon every year at 2% attack speed. Now I've got a level 1 beacon. I'm going to grab that one. My lord, it's time to wage war against another king. So it's going to bring in another king to wage war, that we wage war against. And so we get to choose either the King of Nature or the King of Spells. We should have a look at the King of Spells at the start. So let's actually just bring the King of Spells in so you can sort of see how that plays. So these are our enemies now. We've got the King of Greed, the King of Progress, and now the King of Spells. So these are random whenever you do a run. And they do play quite differently. So we have another beacon. So this one here is currently level 1. So I'm going to go and add a level 2 to that one there. This will then make these more powerful. So you can see the enemy armies are getting stronger and stronger. And we're down to 9 of 20. They're down to 1. Now, this is where we've got more lab rats. Disposable melee troop levels up whenever adjacent plots level up with no maximum level. So I can just keep on either getting that one. Precision. Attack gains +1. This is reinforce. Unit gains +1% damage whenever any plot levels up. Yeah, this is a hard one. So if I play this, these are both like precision. Units first hit is always critical. I might throw that on the archers actually. The lab rat I could level up. Maybe the lab rats, just so we get lots and lots of numbers. The idea here would be to get as many as you possibly can. We haven't had to re-roll. If I'm happy with these. Just don't know which one we should actually go for. Unit gains 1% damage whenever any plot levels up. That I might grab precision. I mean, we've only got the 2 rats there. So we'll just go and place the precision on these guys. You can see that over time we're multiplying what's going to happen here with the different buildings that we've got. And you can see the damage being done by the different buildings, or the different units. And the units that you lose each combat doesn't matter. Like it's just every single turn. Now there's another scout. There's the farm. This is what we've been waiting for. So every year adds +1 unit to one adjacent troop. So I'm just going to go and grab that one. Now here's a merchant. So we've now gone sort of far enough along that we've now got a merchant where we can sort of this is like the jack of diamonds. So we can sort of go and grab a bomber for 30. We've got 81 to spend. An elf, so ranged sniper troop. The ballista, so ranged troop. Shaman. These have come from different. This one's from the King of Blood. This one's from the King of Nature. This one's from the King of Stone. The King of Spells. The mercenary is the King of Greed, and then the executioner is. So these are all actually different units that have actually got through here. If I do a re-roll, I might just spend a re-roll and just see what else we can sort of then go and get, if there's anything here that we would really want to get. And there's not really, to be honest. So I sort of wasted that one a little bit. We've got a warlock and a wizard. But I don't need these sort of troops anymore, because really we should be able to now start to just build up the way that we've started our run. So let's just leave. And in this case, I'm going to drop the the farm in there. And it's going to then randomly place, it's now just added a multiplier to the rats. So this is now the King of Spells coming in. And he's got very, very powerful troops in through here. Now we've dealt with them. You can see he's got 31. We've only had 21 at the start here. So even though he's going to destroy all of our troops, as you know, we had 3 at the end there. Alright, so this is now the what's come back through. So the library every year has a 50% chance of duplicating an enchantment of one of your adjacent troops. I don't know if I want that. Destroy target plot and receive 3 random tome cards. Am I happy with all of my different units? Not overly, but and then we've got combustion. Unit causes area damage equal to. I might grab the combustion one, and we'll play that on. So when this building reaches level 3, it levels up all of your plots. So just got to remember that I've got that one. So with the combustion card, I'm going to play it on my archers. So that's now been enhanced. We've now got 4 rats, so the farm is now enhancing the numbers that we've got. This is the King of Greed coming in. Now their assassins certainly did a lot of damage to us. We're down to 4. They've still got 8, but we should be able to finish them off with these more powerful units at the back here. So we've got mercenaries, strong but fickle warriors for hire. You always have 1 unit for each 15 gold you own. Destroy target plot and receive 30 gold for each level it had. I'm going to do a re-roll. And so we've got another beacon. So this one then will complete our beacon. So I'm just going to go and grab that. Now this is actually where we now get to enhance our plots. Like, where would we like to have another multiplier? Like, essentially, like, you know, what would be good for us? And I'm thinking, yeah, it really could be anywhere. If I get another one in there, I could then go and grab another unit back over this other side. I want to be enhancing these. So with the beacon, every year adds 2% attack speed to adjacent troops and constructions. Let's go and place it in there. So even though we've got a level 2 there, I'll place it in there as well, just to start to enhance these others. Again, this is the King of Spells, 41 against our 23. So we're going to struggle here to sort of get more numbers. I need to level up these troops. the way, if you're trying to get out of the game, I've struggled once when I was had to go and do something. You just go to pause, and it will then allow you to then go out and save the game if you need to. I couldn't figure that out. I was pressing escape, and I had to control Alt Delete a couple of times before I figured that one out. Now we have Shaman. I'm going to so buff allied attack damage based on its own damage. Offering destroy target plot. Receive 3 random tome cards. You know, I think I'll actually take that. I'll just show you how this one works. So let's get rid of this one here, this beacon. So if I go and drag that one on top of the beacon, I then destroy it, and I then get 3 random cards, including a wild card, which allows me to do another level up on anything. The clone. So clone. So this one here is clone the card of the selected plot. So if I go across, and I remember once I get down to 2, that's when the round starts again. So, and then we've got procreate. So add 9 units to the selected troop back into here. But if I go and clone the card, I think I'll clone that one there. So if I just go and clone these guys, actually, or the archers are doing a lot of damage. So let's go and do that. That then gives me an archer card. And again, I can now go and place it on the archers. That's going to then level them up. They're now level 2. They've already got a lot of abilities, so that's going to make them even more powerful. I've then got, so add 9 units to the selected troop. Let's go and do that with the, we haven't really buffed these at all. So they do 3 damage. These do 2.5 damage, but there's a lot more of them. So if we go and add 9 units to the selected troop there, so we're now getting a big group of archers. And I've got one more card to play. So I've got the wild card, levels up the target plot. Now this one here, we're already at level 2 there for the archer. I might do it with the soldiers, just level them up. So I can level up different buildings. I can't do it with the castle because the castle's already maximum level, but I can do it with the beacon, which is not really, like we're at year 13. We've still got 20 odd years of combat to go, which will then sort of enhance what these do. But the farm would actually ultimately at this early stage would actually end up caught, and we haven't had many farm cards come in, so I might use that one in there and just level those up so we get extra recruits now coming in permanently. So this is the Nothing Rebellion. You can see the paladins in the front there. You guys are just fighting away. One criticism I've got of the game is that you don't have enough information about what's really going on in the combat. You can see there the numbers now of damage that we're doing through here, which is fairly substantial. Now there was another wild, this is the wild card again, levels up the plot. This one here shoots powerful I can use either one of those, or I've got Steel Coat, cancels the first hit the target unit would take every battle. Now, really I want to be leveling up different elements. So the wild card in this, I mean, the wild card can be anything. The scout tower will just level up a scout tower. So let's go and grab another wild card. Now we've got another Royal Decree. So we've got Gunpowder, increases the damaging range of area attacks by 30%. This is going to be things like, for example, the Stone Throw. Unlocks 3 new random plots. That will then sort of open things up on the actual battlefield in around my castle. And then you can always go back and have a look. So there'll be 3 little areas that will randomly open up in around here. I don't need it. I'm pretty compact with what I've got. So I'll just go back into what we've got, and then Eyeglass. All units and towers have a plus 20% chance to deal critical damage. Yeah, I'll do that one, I think. So that just gets added across into here. So we then end up with these multipliers back into here. Now the Paladin, I could go and build that one through there. With the wild card. So we're now at level 2 with the Archer. Only level 1 with the Scout Tower. Let's go and throw that one and max out the this one here. Every time I do every time I level something up, the lab rats will then level up as well. So if I go and place the wild card, they should level up as well. We've got an extra recruit in there. Actually, maybe I might be wrong about that. This is the King of Greed again. So unfortunately, the assassins do a lot of damage before we get a chance to really sort of go and click on them. So just read a few of the comments after we deal with this one through here. You can see there the damage now being done, but because we focus on those archers is really quite intense. Midas Touch, so when this troop kills, there is a 2% chance to receive 1 gold. We're up to 106, got lots and lots of gold. Overinvest, so spend 30 gold to increase every stat of a troop or tower by 15%. And destroy target plots, receive 30 gold for each level it had. I'll do that one there. Now, I'll just read a few of the questions that have come through. So, Clock Kolosh is saying, "Is this multiplayer?" No, but it would be good as a multiplayer game. Actually, it would be an interesting multiplayer game to actually to be able to see the plots. And it's a good question for the simple reason that I would also like to see what the enemy is doing, and I don't think there's any real way to do that. Like there's what I can do is I can go back again into the pause game area, and I'll show you this now as well. Like with the enemies, so we've got ourselves back and through there, where we get to sort of see what cards we actually then get to have. This is actually where we do get to start to sort of see different things, but we don't see how they've built their city, and I think that would be interesting to sort of see what they've actually done as to how they're getting their units. So it would be pretty cool, and so that would be, and this is where the multiplayer aspect could be really, really quite good fun to sort of see those sorts of things. So again, the King of Spells, King of Greed. This is the different cards that we're sort of seeing whenever we fight the King of Greed, the King of Blood, coming back in through here with different types. We haven't seen him in the combat at all yet. The King of Nature, different types of things like elves, etc., treants. Then we've got the King of Stone with things like strongholds, wall makers, flamethrowers, ballistas, etc. And then finally the King of Progress. Now there's still 2 more kings to be added to the actual game itself. This just gives us a bit of a feel of how things are going. The compendium, actually that is the compendium, sorry. What else was there? Options. The options are just more about how you want the game to sort of play out. So I'll just accept those. But this is so that's the pause game area. So the enemies, if I go and click on those, it just really opens up the compendium for that particular king that we're fighting. So we'll just go back and resume. So we've got overinvest. Spend 30 gold to increase every stat of a troop or tower by 30%. Now I'm going to do that again with this is now my main troop. So I'm going to go and add that to that one. So we're boosting all of the stats of the ranged units. And again, depending on what cards you get, you will actually chop and change things. It doesn't matter where you place them in here, by the way. Like there's no, I don't think there is. Actually, sorry, I'm giving you to read more comments. I'll do that in just a second. You can see there the numbers now. All right, so just reading a few more. So Raki the Red saying this game felt very constrained in previous versions, but the ability to add new plots really opens things up for me. Yeah, it's an interesting game. Screenplay saying hi, and Hi-Fi Panda saying we could clone rats. We could, but they're pretty weak. It's sort of like the rats are a bit of a nuanced type build. I would almost get rid of them at this stage. Could have dropped a Conbobulator, cloned, and then wildcarded it to the max. Actually, I could have done that. I could still do that, couldn't I? I've only got 1 wildcard, but I'll get more of them over time. And Leguma is saying so we did that one, and then Sarah Ryan just saying farm. The farm adds extra units to your stacks, and so if you get the farm early, you then end up multiplying essentially the combat power of whatever stacks are around it. So it only does it randomly to 1 stack nearby. So Weaven Holes are saying 9 Kings sounds like a fast food chain. Yes, I mean, it's funny the name as well. Like the name 9 Kings, for me is a limiting name, because if they then decide, I actually can think of 3 more kings I'd like to add, what do they then do? What do they call it then? Like it's sort of so it's a strange thing, because I'm thinking that this game, I don't know if they thought the game was going to be anywhere near as wildly popular as what it is at launch. Like it's just this has been sort of one of those real surprise packet games in terms of engagement with people. Like people just love it, and again, I don't see the love. I don't have the same degree of love as what other people are having. I like it, but I do like the game. I don't love the game. So it's certainly a game that I would play happily as a beer and pretzels game, just to sort of, because it doesn't really require a hell of a lot of thinking. As I said before, like, Mechabellum for me is a better auto battler, simply because it's more strategic or more tactical, the way that you sort of do fight with this one. This one here is more about just placement of your kingdom. It is more of a kingdom builder than an auto battler. So we've got the I've been saying a problem game title. If they don't have the a moment 9 kings, and what happens if they decide that's for me is the problem with the name, is it is limiting. Rimhol's saying, can you lower the game SFX volume or increase? I can't increase my voice volume right now. Fighting sounds are so loud that I can barely hear your voice over them. I was trying not to talk during them. I'll go back out after we've done this one as well, and I will actually lower that a little bit. Generally, how are you going? Nissel saying, just have them be queens instead. Yeah, 9 queens or 9 jacks or something. You can have 27 characters. There we are. Seems meh overall to me, says Mr. Worth. Yeah, look, it's better than meh. It's certainly better than that, but it's not the game of the year sort of game, in my opinion. It's sort of like, it's an interesting game. And I even think of other games that are similar, like what was the one where you ended up with a like different robots and stuff, like in a grid. I forget the name of it, but like from a fair few years ago now. But that, to me, that game is better than this game. But it's a good game. I just thought I'd like. I mean, in my opinion, I'm enjoying it, but nowhere near the level of the rave reviews that people are giving this game. I'm not understanding the rave reviews, to be honest. So they're saying, now I know Daz is a wild card, so make a sequel rather than DLC. Yeah, it's like how they did it in the olden days. So with this one through here, let's go and grab the wild card, and let's go and use that combobulator. And now it's peacetime. We now get to, I think during peacetime. So if the conditions are met, your kingdom will be blessed. Okay, then we have a couple more battles coming up. Expand your kingdom there. Another battle, and then we've got Royal Council. This is only halfway through so far, this run. Decree a new policy, which will add another one into there again as well. The battle, then we have a diplomat, make war or peace, and then we've got a protect your kingdom battle as well. So we've got a fair few battles coming up. And you can sort of see there the progress. And again, this is... it doesn't show you the full progress, and again, I'm not sure why not. That's sort of, I'm not sure if there's anything I'm sort of missing with that one. So when this building reaches level 3, it levels up all of your plots. So let's go and do that. Let's go and place it there. Actually, no, I'll place it over here. We can get one more wild card. So progress. Sorry, I meant to turn the sound down. I'll just go and do that now. Yeah, I'll bring it down there. It's too much now. Resume. There we go. So I'm going to now add another one to that one. Again, when we get down to 2 cards, it then triggers the next battle. So we've got the battle coming back in. King of Spells. Wizard, we've got Combustion, and we've got a Spire, heals your units. This is actually not bad. I might grab this one. But we're going to place the wild card on that one now. We've got level ups all over the place. That's now top level. This is now level 2. And these will level up as well. Battle 1. The Thief, Assassin Trip that jumps to the enemy back line. I don't really need any of these, to be honest. Every year, add 2% attack, receive +3 gold at the end of every year. I've got heaps of gold. I think I'll still. It doesn't really matter what I get at this stage, so I'll just go and grab. I might grab the Thief. So we can now go and place another plot. So if we go and place that in there, I can then ultimately get another multiplier area back in the other side. Or if I go and, yeah, I'll go and do it that way. You see that my tower now is performing better than anything. But I wouldn't mind a spire, which will then sort of heal up my units. I'll bring in a different group, and you can see there my rats are now starting to. They're now reached level more than level 3 now, so we're sort of above the maximum there. We're at level 2 with the soldiers. We're at level 3 with the archers. We can't go any more than that one through there. We've got 41 soldiers in there. We've got 12 lab rats, and we've got 23 soldiers in that side. Sorry, that was 41 archers, 23 soldiers, and 12 rats. The Thief, Assassin Troop that jumps to the enemy back line. That's sort of fairly useful. I might just go and place that one in there. So we'll end up bouncing back into here. And that will then sort of draw the enemy backwards. Which will always give me a bit of an advantage. So smashing these. Got another spire. So I've now got 2 spires. I'm going to start to place these. Now, I don't really have any other slots available to me, so I'm going to go and add the spire over here. This will then start to heal up my units. You can see that it's interesting with the assassins. So we're healing up. Dispense, we've got another Thief. And we have Sharp Blades. Increases all of the attacks of all of your units and towers by 30%. Receive 2 cards after every battle. You can no longer choose your loot. Oh, okay, so we just automatically get those. And then we've got Loan, receive 99 coins. Let's go and increase the attacks. So we're now up to year 21. So it's about 33, 35 years that we then play the game. So I can do the. I'm going to go and grab the next level of Thief. At the moment, we've only got like a level 1 Thief, so we'll go and grab more of those. Also, got to think about towards the end of the battle, we have to play all of our cards. So I don't want to be left with cards that I don't want. This is the Nothing Rebellion, so we're going to get some basic, some of our basic troops coming in. So, I've got a blacksmith every year. It's 2% attack damage. Now, this is something that I was wanting for a fair while as well. This is the first time we've seen this. But now it's getting late in the combat, so it's not anywhere near as effective as it would have been at the start. Let's still go and grab it, because I wanted to place it in here. So we're going to go and place the blacksmith in amongst that one. And so every year, it's going to then increase the damage of those units. Right, and now we've already got, this will then take us to level 3 with the Spire, I think. Diplomat, my lord, our diplomats can now make peace with an enemy king. The one we're having most trouble with is the King of Progress. So let's go and make peace with that one there. So our enemies are now the King of Spells and the King of Greed. And the Spires, that's just level 1. So again, when I get down to 2 cards, it's then going to sort of trigger things. I'll just read a few more of the comments again. So Laguma is saying, Drop Duchy competes in this game space too. I don't know that game. Mechabellum, great game, says Reki the Red. Yes, it is a great game. It's Mechabellum for me is a better auto battler. It doesn't have the same like it's got a lot more nuance in terms of the way that you then use your forces, and there's no, even though you're buying different troops, you don't actually there's no luck mechanic. The luck mechanic, I don't mind the card mechanic in this at all. By the way, like it's sort of and I tend not to really like card type games. Freed speaks saying the devs have a lot of friends. Well, I think it goes more than that. I think that it's a very enjoyable game to play. Like it's nicely done. It feels very relaxing to play this game. So it's not like Mechabellum is a bit stressful because of the if you make one little mistake you can actually lose the game. This game can sort of be a bit the same, but it feels friendly when you actually do play it. So it's an interesting one with that. So it's a strange game. Again, I like the game. I like it a lot. I just don't love it. And but nearly everything you see online is about just how this is the best game ever made type thing. They're not really that, but you know what I mean. You should have put it next to the rats. I'm not sure which one that was that we should have put next to the rats. Maybe I think that this one here works much better. The rats are doing the least amount of damage out of all of my units, so they're not really important. T5 Cat's saying I can see Daz being really into this game. Not really. Like again, when I go through the auto battlers that I like, Dominion 6 comes to mind as well. A lot more nuanced. Again, the placement of the armies for me is important. There's a lot of games like this that I like, even games like Heroes Hour, where you still get to place where the soldiers are. Now, in Heroes Hour, the big problem I've got with Heroes Hour is that the actual placement matters very, very little. In this one here, it's just lines, and it just packs in the lines and then just battles with the lines of troops. Anyway, let's go into our Spire and get more healing. So we'll just go this one. This will then trigger the next battle. And this is another nothing rebellion. We might get a farm or a blacksmith, hopefully. We're healing up our forces very, very effectively here. And we'll now get the level 3 Spire, which is a King of Sorcery building. It's blacksmith there, and a wild card. Again, it doesn't really matter which one I go with. Let's get the wild card because it still levels up either the scout tower or the blacksmith. The Spire I can play, and I might as well get the Spire to its maximum level. There's its maximum healing now. I think we've already got a winning combination at this point in time. More destroy target plot to receive 3 random tome cards. Now, I don't know if I got rid of the one thing I don't know about is if I don't think I can go backwards. So if I go and grab this one here, and now I've got the merchant as well. Now I've got steel coat. I've got earthworks unlocks the target adjacent plots. Target cards returns to your hand. Unlocks targets. Adjacent plots. Now, there's no one really that I need that one from. Actually, there is. There is. I will go and do that one, I think. Got reinforce, precision. I've already got one lot of precision on my archers. I can go and grab a couple of these. I can grab the earthworks, and I'll grab the precision as well, and clone the card of the selected plot. This is now going to cost me 60. I've got 91. These are all good, actually. Let's go that way. We're down to 31. We'll now leave. All right, so now, once again, when we get down to 2 cards, that's all we can really go and do. This one here, I don't think that when this building reaches level 3, it levels up all your plots. I don't think I can take the level off us, so I'm thinking I can use earthworks to unlock 2 more here. So let's go and place that one there. There we are. So we didn't lose any levels up, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're all level 2. Now we've got 2 more combobulators. So, but do we want to go and place? Ultimately, we can place another unit back in there if we wanted to. So the combobulator can just sort of go any old place. It does nothing now. So this is now the broken combobulator. This is not. I can get some money for that one, so I might as well just go and throw that one in there. Procreate, add 9 units. So let's go and add in even more. The soldiers are starting to level up. I can actually use the level up there. These ones are level 4. Actually, these are level 5 now. These lab rats. This is the power of the rats, is they don't have a maximum level. The offering, destroy target plot and receive 3 random tome cards. I was going to be playing that one on the combobulator, but let's go and save that one for when we do get the next combobulator. So I can actually go in and go throw that one in, grab a second one, throw that one in, and then go and use the wild card and level up everything. Bang, there we go. So that's now maximised those. I can now go back in and destroy that combobulator again and receive 3 random tome cards. So we've now got 3 cards that have sort of come back in through here. I've now should have. Actually, I didn't get the. Yeah, that card didn't end up in my area. So precision, I can actually play that one. I've got another wild card, so I can actually now go and place that. Oh no, the soldier's now maximum. The scout tower is now maximum, so everything is pretty much now maxed out. The clone, so clone the card of this one through here. I think I'll actually go and what are we down to here? We've got the maximum lots of thieves. We're doing more damage with our soldiers now, so we've got overinvest. So spend 30 gold to increase every stat of a troop or tower by 15%. Let's go and play that one on there. So we end up with big boosts to stats. So the health, the damage, the whole lot. Clone. Clone. Now this one here, we've got procreate, add 9 troops to this, so we'll go and add even more to this one. So we've now got 58 of those guys. I can precision. I can go and add more precision to this one through here. I've already got some precision, so it's not sort of telling me in through there what it actually is, but I don't know if I have 2 precisions what actually happens with that one. So if I go back in with clone, that's level 2. Let's go and get level 3 there. So it's now maximum for the blacksmith. I'm still at maximum with the farm as well. Let's go and throw the precision back into here. Another stack of precision. Yeah, so we've got 2. It does actually keep on adding in. So let's see your 25 now. Yeah, so our troops are now becoming very, very powerful. They're all maxed up, so I'll go and grab another group of archers. Okay, so Hi-Fi Pen is saying, I think I like Dawnfolk much more than this game. I haven't played Dawnfolk. I've got it, but I haven't actually played it. And so Sorbical's saying, this feels very much like the FTL and Into the Breach. That was the game I was trying to think of. End of the Market, even if it's a auto battle, a card building game. Yeah, it reminds me very much of Into the Breach. And actually, you're right. FTL sort of fits in that same mold. And I mean, FTL was like it was genre breaking, basically. This game isn't. So this is again why I'm sort of a bit confused as to why, like, other commentators are gushing over how good this game actually is. It is a good game. It's not a great game. I'm going to go and throw the archers over to here. So just got like a basic unit in through there. So you're 26 now. Our force is very strong. Like, you know, we're not going to lose this run with what we've got. The library every year has a 50% chance of duplicating an enchantment of one of your adjacent troops. Look, I will throw that in. Actually, no, we don't actually have enchantments really to make use of. I think I'm just going to grab a spire. I'll just get one at the back here. Now, clone the card of the selected plot. So if I go and grab another spire, we can ultimately try to get this to level 3 as well. Just keep everyone alive. Spring Plague seemed to me, it seems like a good little game to kill some time. Maybe the commentators have lots of time to kill, and that's why they praise it so high. Yeah, they could be right. Actually, I think you may have sort of nailed it there a little bit, because it's so relaxing to play. Like, again, if you like, Mechabellum for me is a better auto battler, but you know, and Dominions of course, but they're both stressful games when you play them. Like the actual, if you're not wide awake when you're playing Mechabellum, you know, you're going to really suffer. Whereas this game, you could almost play in auto mode to a large degree. So it's certainly much more forgiving. Clone of the card. Now I can actually go and I'll play it on the archer. Just level these up. Grab myself a drink of water, be right back. So these are King of Spells cards. So I'm going to grab Static. And we have another Royal Decree. So every poison effect is now applied twice. We don't have any poison effects. We haven't used any of those. Feast, so doubles the maximum HP of all your troops. That would actually be good. Doubles the movement speed of all your troops. I'm going to go with the Feast. That's going to make us even more powerful. There's no way that we can lose this now. You can see there that these guys are now, the soldiers are now becoming much more damage. So damage of 8.2, hits per second 0.8, and then these are damage of 7.25. So these are actually now causing more damage with the soldiers. So I'll put the Static on the soldiers. Now, yeah, let's just go and do that one again. Once we get down to 2 cards, the game then sort of kicks in. And I think with the healing that we've got, those soldiers are staying alive for a lot longer. Yeah, so we're smashing our way through now. There's the boss battle. We can now see that sort of coming back up. Steel Coat cancels the first hit that would actually have. So let's go and throw that one in as well. So we actually have victory. So that would be victory after the last battle. The last battle is against a champion of one of the kings. So with the Steel Coat, I'm going to place that also on my soldiers, which have now become my MVP. So let's go to that one. So just protect them as well. And again, you can see these multiplier buildings are doing they're really, really important to get these on those orthogonal connections with the troops. King of Greed run. Our tower's doing very, very well. Destroy target plot to receive 30 gold for each level it had. Over invest in 30 gold to increase every state of a troop or tower by 15%. We'll go and do that one. This is another, the merchant, the architect. So this is actually where we can go and start to build other things. There's another combobulator, which we don't need anymore. So I don't need any of these. Yeah, we're now sort of, this is some King of Blood type things. Summon one demon for each level. It's too close towards the end of the game, so let's just go and leave. Let's go and place it on that one there. I would like more information about the combat, but we can't really, we don't get to pause it, or we can't zoom in or anything. And there's another spire. So we're at level 1 with that spire, and we're only two away now from completing the run. Now we have to play every one of our cards at the back end of the game. So the last battle we have to essentially just play everything if we can. So I'll grab the archers. So the King of Greed is leading his final assault. We must play all of our cards. So we now actually have to play the paladin. We have to play and I can go and throw it in there, but there's no reason to. So I'm going to increase the spire. I'm going to put the archers on top of there, and I'm going to put the paladins there. There we are. So this is the final battle. This is the boss battle, and so there will be this. They've got their champion. There'll be a bar down the bottom through here, the champion of Greed. They came in with 228. You can see there we're hardly losing any because of the healing that we've got. This thing's taking damage. A lot of damage. It was our assassins actually ended up doing a lot of damage there. So your kingdom has thrived. So that's actually essentially the run. What is next, my liege? So we can either, I'm not sure what continue playing does. I think we can just keep on playing this one, but I'll leave it there. I actually have to leave early today, so I was glad that I had this game because I just wanted to play for a shortish period of time. So it then gives me the stats. So we played for just over an hour. So the years survived were 34, which is about what they tend to be. Units killed 3,183, units trained 202, gold collected 306, spells used 20, constructions built 10, plots leveled up 31, plots destroyed 3. And so you can see there again, just going through the layout that we've got, our multiplier buildings are in around troops. And so they're sort of the farm playing as the King of Nothing. The farm is one of the cards that we end up getting through there. This one here, the beacon, is a King of Greed building, which just gives a bit of a bonus to these two in through here. In fact, you can see there that ultimately the tower did the most damage. Like that was really doing a lot of damage to the enemy at the very end there. And then these two healing towers just kept, particularly the thieves, which again was a King of Greed troop. And so that one actually then did sort of play that one through. The paladins hardly did anything because we really didn't use them at all much for the actual game itself. So let's go and click on continue. And if we just go back to the main menu again, we can then sort of just go back into start. And so we can then sort of start another run. So I'll just show you again the start of the new runs. Now we should have unlocks, I would have thought. Maybe we need to, oh no, we need to defeat. We're almost here with the with this one here. I would have liked to have shown an unlock, but unfortunately we hadn't played enough against these. So the King of King of Greed, it's funny because we're really struggling trying to sort of get to the level that we need to. But the King of Blood, we're very, very close. Back into here, I'll show you like this. Like it's quite different playing as the King of Spells as an example. So this one here, we've got like Wizards and Warlocks along with Shaman. They're the 3 different units we end up having. They do play quite differently. So we've got difficulty, we've got Squire and Knight difficulty back and through there essentially. So it goes from Peasant, which is where you start, Squire, and then Knight becomes a bit more difficult. So if I go and I'll play it on Knight, just I'll sort of get started with it. So Erskine is saying it's a bit too loud to hear you. Yeah, sorry, I've got to get a new microphone. I'll have to look into it. It's I've had this microphone for a long period of time, and it just it's just not great. So again, the Citadel placement again, I tend to try to leave something in the middle between it. So I find Citadels are, like they don't give any bonus to anything next to them. So I'm thinking you always place these sorts of buildings in your corner. So I'm just going to place that one there. I've got one more that I can then go and add in. So I'm wanting to put it, this is a Warlock. It's a sturdy troop that deals melee damage in an area. So I'm going to be wanting these in around these sorts of zones, not in there just in case we get multipliers. So I'll place that one up the top there. So I can then put multipliers in around it. I've got this on auto, so these things are just going to zip along. We're going up against the King of Greed here again. I didn't get to see who we were actually playing with. But you can play it fairly quickly. This is the Beacon. We've got the Vault, receive plus 3 gold at the end of every year. Look, that's something that will then start to really multiply our gold at this point in time. So I might grab that one. Again, it doesn't need to be touching troops at all. So I'm just going to place that one in the back corner. And this is the King of Stone, where he's got these very, very powerful trebuchets. Earthworks unlocks target adjacent plots. Mobile tower that moves into the battlefield to burn enemies. And that's interesting, actually. 2 damage, adds plus 2 damage to all towers and base every year. Plus 2 damage, 2% quarry. I might grab that one. And again, I think it just can be placed any old location. It doesn't need to be anywhere. I'll place it at the back there though. Actually, I'll place it there for now. So we're now using different, you can see there the colours and things. It's a good looking game, I've got to say. Yeah, we're down to 1 player. We need to get more troops. There's more Warlocks. And we've got Static Fields, double the attack speed of your Citadel's lightning bolts. I think we'll just go and grab that one. Place the Spire will heal my Warlocks, which is actually fairly valuable. Let's level them up though. Just because these are getting more and more powerful over time. We lost 2. When this troop kills, there's a 2% chance of receiving 1 gold. Strong but fickle warriors for hire. This is mercenaries, Citadel. I'll just grab the Citadel, and I'll upgrade the Citadel. We're only at level 1 at this stage. Get that one to level 2. But you can see it's sort of already playing quite differently because of the enemy cards that we're sort of getting. We're getting, I think this will be a King of Stone card that we'll end up getting. We didn't even lose a single unit there. Not that it matters. So, builds defensive walls in your kingdom. This is good if you have like strong towers and things in your castle. You can then go and play that one. But I think I'll go and max the Citadel out. So this is a baby boom. If you have a troop card on the target plot by the year of the prophecy, doubles its number. Where is that one? In the middle. Again, not where I want it. We'll grab the Citadel. In fact, what I might do is I might just get Static and place it on there. the King of Greed. Now, I've already got too many citadels, so every year, yeah, beacon. I'll throw that in there because ultimately, actually, I'll just pop it in there for now. I wasn't going to keep on playing this. See, addictive. So I have to go for just one more turn, says T5 Cats. Exactly. So Warmwood Boo is saying it would be interesting to run with multiple citadels. You can't do that. You can only have one citadel. I think. Actually, I don't know. Maybe you can, but I thought you could only have one. Trebuchet is a fairly powerful ballistas range troop that shoots. Sorry, this is a multi-projectile tower. Shoots one extra projectile per construction in your kingdom. Let's go and grab that. Okay, we have to choose another king this time. So we can go with the King of Nothing or the King of Nature. Let's go with the King of Nothing. So this is now the ones that we're actually up against. We'll accept this. So look, yes, it is. Like it's fun to play. I am enjoying playing it. The Citadel. Can I grab another? Actually, I can place another. No, I can't place another Citadel card. Yeah, so no, I can only place it over there. We'll call it quits after this one here. All right, I'll just read a few more of the comments. So Orca Oak saying, is this another roguelike card builder? Sort of, yes. It doesn't feel like a card builder though, to be honest. It's it feels pretty good. So Garation saying, I'm so excited I was able to get you to play this. I've been obsessed. Yeah, it's funny. It's because it was when I saw it as a Hooded Horse game. Because I've often, like, Hooded Horse often contact me when they've got new games, and I looked through my email and I'd missed the email. So I've actually had the game for 3 weeks, I think, and I just completely missed it. So Orca's saying every year there is an indie that people think is pretty much the second coming of StarCraft. Yes, I think this is it. I think this is the one that people are saying that with it. Again, I don't think that myself, but that's what people are saying. Sizzle's saying I made a faction of liberated lab rats in Age of Wonders 4. So yes, and Sizzle's saying the leader is a big wizard hat. Yeah, law-wise, yeah, blah blah blah. So you guys are just talking about that one, but it's if it's just for show and doesn't know magic at all. Yeah, okay, you guys are still talking about Age of Wonders 4. Okay, so anyway, guys, I will leave it here. I do have to get going a bit earlier today, so. Yeah, so it is. Look, it's an enjoyable game. It's a very relaxing game to play. Like, it's actually it is a time waster, to be honest. With what it does do, actually, the farm card is a good one for us. I'll grab that one. Farm because I can actually multiply this one. So I'm tempted to keep on playing, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it here. T5 Cat saying, I just watched so far. I've too many games to play. Yes. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time. So again, if you are playing the game, pressing escape or anything like that, you can't get out of the game. You have to go, which sort of feels counterintuitive, but you have to go up to here and then go to quit, to then quit out of the game. Save and quit. There we are. So anyway, guys, we'll actually leave it here. So thanks for watching, and actually start. I don't know if I can. I'll continue run. There it is. Anyway, it's interesting game, good game, very good game, but not game of the year type game. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.